Hey ladies, how are you? I just wanted to get into the group. It is Friday, January the 27th, and I wanted to make sure that I came on live because I don't know if you've been watching the videos. Let me get my phone right quick. I don't know if you guys have been watching the videos where we've been doing our lives, our self-love conversations live, and we've been interviewing some amazing people. And the time, as far as everything else that has been going on, has been a little bit crazy. But I always just try to make sure that I get in the inspiration in 30. So for those of you who are new, who don't know me, my name is Gloria Ward, and I'm the founder of the I'm Loving Me Project, which is this amazing project here, where we inspire you to love and to value yourself. We've been doing this for maybe 4 years now. And and I just get so happy about it. And I just get so happy when I do this, because I always say to myself, you know, we never know what journey that we on, but every time God tells me to come and speak to the people, make sure I continue to do what it is that I'm doing, I always feel like, you know, that's what I need to do. And keeping up with that sometimes is a challenge with everything else that I got going on, but I make no excuses, because I'm always going to do what he told me to do, right? And that is to inspire you, to let you know that everything that you believe that is happening to you and what you're going through, and you think that you are having a hard time right now, or maybe things are just copacetic and cool, just know that it's not your final destination, okay? It's not the final destination. All the stuff that you're going through, all the stuff that you're feeling, all the stuff that you feel that you got to juggle, all the things that are going on in your mind, it is not your final destination. I've been studying all month, and one of the things that I've been studying was the fact that, you know, we allow things to happen to us. We allow people to come into our life to dictate how we are and what we do, right? We have the power to make a decision about what people can do or say or play a part in our lives. When we allow people to come into our life and start to do things to us that are not good for us, we made a decision to do that because we make excuses, right? We continuously say, well, you know, they don't know better. Well, they're new. Well, they're young. Well, they really don't, you know, understand much. Oh, their background is this. And then while we make those excuses, as it get worse, we say, how did we get here? Well, the way that you got there is you allowed people to slide by. You allowed them to break your boundaries. You allowed them to go ahead and do what they want in your life. And now that you're trying to take your power back, you're getting resistance, right? You got to know where you are right now is not your final destination. Everything that you've been through already, that is only the stepping stone in getting to where you are right now. I interviewed this lady last night. If you can go on YouTube and take a look at the video I did, her name is Jasmine Nesbitt. Now, Jasmine, she was talking about her trauma and everything last night. And one of the things that she said happened to her is that her and her family was on a bus in the Philippines, and then the bus tipped over. She had fell asleep, and the bus tipped over. When she woke up, she was in the bus, but half of her body was in water and half of her body was on top of water. And she found that people was basically trampling her and stepping on her in order to get to the bus so they wouldn't drown. So she kept going down in the water and down in the water, and she thought she was going to die. So she said it wasn't until her sister grabbed her hand that she said that she felt some kind of hope, right? Because everything was just going so crazy, she wasn't sure what was going to happen to her. But she said one of the things that she realized from that and all the other stuff that she'd been through was the fact that she always wanted to be a nurse ever since she was 6 years old, right? And once she decided to be a nurse, she did everything that she could to go ahead and achieve that goal. And she didn't let hell or high water stop her, right? From being a single parent to having kids. And so listening to her story, I was just saying, We have so much power in us, and we go through so much where we feel like this is our life and this is what it's going to be, where that is not true. Whatever it is that you have that's deep in your heart that you are trying to accomplish or achieve or have for yourself is there for a reason. And the reason why it's there because it's waiting on you to wake up and say you can have it. You don't have to settle for the life that you have now. And even if you think your life is good and everything is okay and copacetic and nobody's really bothering you and nothing is really happening to you and your job is really good, you got to be able to grow. There's no reason for you to stay the same. Because if your life is a straight line and copacetic, you're not using your gifts. You're not doing what you was here to do. You just doing enough just to get by. And you're doing enough so people don't bother you. And you're only doing enough so that you could go ahead and just live and have a basic life where that's not what you was created to do. And if everything is up in turmoil for you right now and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make ends meet, make a decision to go ahead and focus on where you're going. Right? Focus on where you're going. I do not like when people say, well, you know, Gloria, I tried and it just didn't work out for me. You don't want it bad enough. You don't want to see that person that you know you can be. Because you allowed situations and everything in your life to come in and take that away. I tell you guys all the time, you got to feed your mind. Yes, it's not the way you want it to be right now. But we have something called will. Right? We have something called faith. We have something called strength. And with that, we could do anything. We can do anything. And you say, Gloria, you know what? I'm tired of being strong, girl. I'm tired of being the bigger person. I'm tired of being strong. I'm tired of sacrificing. I hear what you're saying, but that is not the case for me. You don't know my struggle. You don't know my story, and I don't. But what I know for sure is that you were created to be more than what you're doing right now. I know that. I know that for sure. I know the things that you are going through right now came from the past decisions that you've made, but you can make new decisions and have a better situation than what you have now. What I know for sure is that you could go ahead and take your power back, and when you take your power back and start to live for you, your whole life will change. I know that. And what I also know is that it is time for you to make a decision. You have to make a decision about what your life is going to be going forward. You can't be mediocre no more. You can't sit up here and say that you're not going to have stuff because you got to sacrifice. Figure out how you become better. Stop figuring out how you just going to get by. How you just going to make ends meet. Figure out how you're going to get better. How you going to be more confident. How you going to love yourself more. How you going to take advantage of those opportunities that you just let pass you by because you felt like you didn't have time. You wasn't smart enough. It wasn't for you. It wasn't the right time in your case. It may be set up for somebody else. And stop getting mad when people bypass you and choose other people for things that you believe that you were supposed to have. AKA you get passed up for a promotion at a job. You feel like it was something that was for you. It's not fair. You got to remember, what's for you is for you. What God has for you is for you. And if he didn't give it to you, then it's not your time. You got to remember, everything that you want is already there. You know why I know that? Because somebody else already did it. What you want out of your life and what you want to accomplish, somebody already accomplished. To prove to you that it's real, and to prove to you that you can have it, and to prove to you in any adversity you can come through. But you got to make a decision. You got to know where you are. It's not your final destination. You got to be able to get uncomfortable and know that when it is your time, it's your time. And in the meantime, you feed your mind. You remind yourself of who you are. You remind yourself of where you're going. You hold on to that will that you have, that God has given us, of your future and what you want to do. You stay consistent in the work that you're doing. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get tired. You're not going to fall short sometime. But you remember what the goal is, and you remember what it is that you are supposed to do. Everything that you do, you're supposed to grow and evolve. Whatever happened to you back there, it happened for a reason. Whatever it is that you're still struggling with, you have to figure out how to manage that. Because you're going through that not for you. I keep telling you guys that. It's not for you. I told Jasmine, the lady last night, going through the traumatic experience that she went through, having the life that she had, becoming a nurse and still battling challenges and everything, to becoming an entrepreneur, you needed to go through all of that so you can grow. Nobody ever stays the same. And if you are, you dying. You either growing or you dying. And I want to be able to see you grow. You can't waste time thinking, well, wherever it is that I am right now, maybe this is just what God has for me. No, he don't. Well, maybe this is just my life because shit keeps going wrong. No, you keep making poor decisions because you need to be around people who believe what you believe. You have to be able to change your environment. Well, Gloria, this is it. This is all I can afford. This is the only environment that I have. You got social media. You got the internet. You got programs in your neighborhood. You got me. You got other people that you can rely on that could keep you focused. See, what we do, we get so drowned into our everyday, we forget. We like, damn, I ain't in the mood for no motivation today. I did that for maybe 2 or 3 months, but I'm still trying to figure out my life and how I'm going to go and how I'm going to write this book and how I'm going to do this. And so because I'm doing that, I give myself time. That's not how it works. You ain't got no time. You understand? That's the problem. We think we have a lot of time until something happens, and then we realize we don't, and then we want to get back on the saddle and say, oh my God, I need to walk, I need to do this, I need to get my health together, I need to start eating, I need to do that. No, y'all. Remember, you carry yourself around every day. You carry yourself around every day. When you expire, it's only going to be one grave. When they put that birth date and death date on your tombstone, the life that you had is in between. Is that dash. You want to be able to know that you are living not only your best life, but the life that you always knew you can live. And it doesn't have to be grandiose, and it doesn't have to be big, and it doesn't have to be all these things. It just have to be good for you, where you got peace, and you could do what you want. And you know that you are giving back. And that you are being you. 100%. I'll tell you guys what happened to me yesterday. So, I went home. I got home maybe like around, what was it, like 1 or 2 o'clock, right? So I go and I shower. I change my clothes. I put on the black version of this. Like I have these comfy jumpsuits that I wear that I love, right? And so I go and I say, I don't want to I don't want to cook, so I'm going to go have dinner somewhere. So I went and I had dinner at this restaurant, and then I just walk in and I sit down, and then there's a guy at the end at another table, and he says, you're going to come have dinner with me. And I'm like, here we go, right? My mind is like, here we go. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. He's like, no, I'll pay for it. And I said, no, it's not that. It's the fact that the waiter, he got this table. So because he got this table, he thinking he going to get a tip. So I don't want to, like take a table away from him, because you at somebody else's table. He was like, don't worry about that. He said, we'll just have 2 tickets. Right? So I said, okay, fine. As long as the guy doesn't lose the table, I'm okay. So I get down there, and I ask him his name, and we going back and forth, and we just talking. And the first thing he said is, he was like, I saw you when you were walking, and when you walked in, I said I had to have dinner with this lady because it is something about your energy. I don't know what it is. And this is the 4th time this has happened to me, y'all. This is the 4th time this has happened to me. And I said to him, I said, it must be God that you see in me, because that's the only thing that I could tell you, right? I said, I decided to be me. And ever since that I decided to be me, life has opened up. And he was like, tell me more about that, because I could see it. And, we talked for maybe like 2.5 hours, right? And the thing is, y'all, that man ain't want nothing from me. He did not ask me for my phone number. He just wanted to go ahead and talk. And he was just so intrigued. And I said to myself, I said, God, if this is what it's like to really, really be your authentic self, where they not only see me, but they see you, I want this all the time. You know why? Because I spoke to that brother and we had a conversation, and it was just like, that was it. He got what he needed and I got what I needed. He got an encouraging word from me and I got an encouraging word from him. Because that's what happens when you start to be on this path, y'all. The conversations are different. Like attracts like. Like attracts like. You feel it and you're not afraid to say, hey, come over here, brother. Come here, sister. Let me sit here and talk to you for a second, because it's something about you. Right? That's how it happens. Because you know it when you see it. And when you see it, you want to be around it, because you like, this is what I've been looking for. So stop thinking that where you are right now is your final destination, because that's not true. You got a whole life waiting on you. Let me repeat that. You got a whole life waiting on you to decide to choose you. That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. Now, how you get there, you got to do some work. Because the way that you're thinking and acting and being right now is the old you. And to get on this journey, it's going to be a bumpy ride to change those thoughts. But guess what? I promise you it's worth it. And I promise you it's going to be challenging. And I promise you you're going to go back and forth. I was telling my friend the other day, yeah, I know I don't have my dogs anymore. And I have a broken heart over that, right? And I go back and forth. I get angry. I get sad. I watch dog videos. I cry a little bit because I miss them, right? And then when it's really overwhelming, a bitch rode by the house just to make sure that the person still lived there, right? So that I can know that my dogs are still there, right? And I say all that to say, it doesn't go away, right? Sometimes it does get overwhelming. Sometimes you will revert back. Sometimes your emotions is going to get out of hand. But you never forget who you are and where you're going. Just get back on track. Just get back on track. And you will only know that. You will only know that if you are feeding your mind and you putting the work in. Because as soon as I did it, I called a friend and I'm like, girl, I done rolled by the house. She said, go home, girl. Right? And then she said, well, did it help you? I said, it did. Because I saw their blanket, right? And I saw the shade was cracked. So I know they in there. And she said, can that be enough for you? I said, yes, it can. And it helped me, right? It helped me. But now I got to get on track, right? Because you got to be able to let things go. And I just tell myself every day, Gloria, what's for you is for you. What God has for you is for you. It doesn't mean you don't hurt. It doesn't mean that you don't go through things. But what it does mean is that you're more self-aware and you learn your tools and you know that this is not your final destination. And wherever it is that you're going, you trust and you have faith and you believe that however it's going to work out, that's not on you, that's on God. You just do the work that you can do and let Him take care of the rest. And that's exactly how it goes. So don't think that you're going to be cured overnight because you're doing stuff. Don't think things are going to change overnight because you did something for a whole week. This is a lifelong journey. And within that lifelong journey, continue to be around positive people. Pull on those people who you know can help you. Continue to take the courses. Invest in yourself. Because you are worth it. Stop telling yourself it's expensive and I don't have it and all this stuff. Stop cheating yourself. Stop cheating yourself. Give yourself a chance to live. Please. Give yourself a chance to live. And watch your whole world open up. All right? That's all I got. I gotta go. Y'all know I love y'all to death. And I keep telling y'all, I'm walking this road with you. Y'all know my story. I come on here and I tell my business too. You know why? Because I want you to know this ain't no airy-fairy thing. The work that needs to be done and the work that we do here, it's real. It's real. But guess what? It's worth it. It's worth it. Because I got an amazing life. I got an amazing life, y'all. I could do what I want. I could go where I want. I can inspire people. I can love. I can do anything that I want to do. And guess what? I get paid good money for it. I could do anything. Nothing is holding me back in my life but me. And I got to continuously feed myself and put myself out there to know that I need to step out the way and let God lead me to where He wants me to go. And that's to constantly remind you of who you are. And join me on the journey because it's beautiful. It really is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I could be here at 8 o'clock. I can get up and leave what I want. I'm going to get my hair done. I'm going to hang out with some friends for lunch. And then I'm going home to chill and read a book and go ahead and get my weekend started. Right? That's life. And that's every day. Right? But I bust my ass to have that. And I work on my mind to have that. And I do what I need to do to have that. And I want the same for you. So stop thinking where you are is your final destination, because it's not. You could do, have, and be anything you want. And don't forget that. I gotta go. I love you. I gotta get me some coffee, okay? All right, have a good weekend.